Hello everyone, Clark here, welcome back to another video. Today I am back and today I want to talk about the new perk or potentially a returning perk coming into Black Ops 6 Zombies DLC 1, also known as Season 1 Reloaded. As you know, when we got revealed the new map Citadelle Day More, we actually got told and revealed that a new perk or potentially a returning perk that we've seen in the past is coming also. Now I do want to talk about what it could potentially be and our options, and along with that I want to talk about what I would personally want it to be. The first thing that I could potentially, well, probably not see it happening, as Treyarch made a statement that it never worked in the intended way that they wanted to in the last iteration of Zombies, being Modern Warfare Zombies, and that's Tombstone. But the reason why I say that it might not come back is because, one, Treyarch made a statement on Modern Warfare Zombies that Tombstone never worked the way it wanted to, but I don't know if they're talking about that because it never worked how they wanted to in open world zombies, survival extraction based zombies, but are they going to change it now that we're going back to round based zombies? On top of that, on the new Mastercraft for the XM4 in the Black Ops 6 Zombies bundle, you actually can see the Tombstone perk soda can. So Tombstone, I genuinely think, has a 50-50 chance to come back, honestly. Then the next perk I want to talk about coming back is probably, out of all the returning perks, that's the one I see coming back the most. It is probably Meal Kick. Now Meal Kick came back as the returning perk for DLC 3 within Black Ops Cold War Zombies, being married to Tone, and honestly the perk's really helpful, especially with the amount of augments that we could get for it. It would be very nice to see it come back. My only issue with it is, why the hell is it a DLC perk again? I would love if Meal Kit came back, but honest to God, a part of me doesn't want it, because the fact that we had as a DLC perk within Cold War Zombies, you know, I allowed it, you know, it's whatever. But to then have it come back as another DLC perk again, just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But the next perk I want to talk about that was potentially leaked was actually Vulture Aid. Now Vulture Aid we have only ever seen once in the whole of Call of Duty Zombies, and that is Black Ops 2 Zombies Buried. Now Vulture Aid is one of the most helpful, most unique perks that we've ever gotten. It shows you where everything is around the map. You can see through the walls, see where the mystery box is, the perks are, etc, etc. On top of that, zombies will sometimes drop green gas, where if you stand in that green gas, zombies will run away from you. On top of that, they'll drop tiny little ammo clips and points, and honestly that could help you, and I would very much like if that came back into Black Ops 6 Zombies, as I genuinely think that will help a lot of the game's issues. Maybe not by a whole ton, but when I talk about the game's issues, I'm talking about like the point system. It won't do anything major to the point system, as if you do remember, whenever you picked up points from Vulture Aid within Black Ops 2, you didn't gain a lot of points. And sure, if Vulture Aid does come back, that'll probably be the same case, and the same applies for the ammo. It will help somewhat, and maybe with augments, maybe we can gain a more increased ammo clips and more points, maybe, who knows. But I genuinely think Vulture Aid might be a big help if that does come back. Now Death Perception is the other perk that I could see coming back, because one, Death Perception is kind of like Vulture Aid. The only difference is that Death Perception only focuses on seeing zombies through walls. Vulture Aid made it so you couldn't do that. Now I'm pretty sure within Death Perception's upgrades within Cold War Zombies, and correct me if I'm wrong in this, but Death Perception made it so you can actually deal more damage to zombies, so I don't know, maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, I don't know, but we'll need to see about that. The next one I do want to talk about is probably the least likely one, as this will be a third progression way in doubling your weapon damage, and that is double tap. Now whether it be double tap 2.0, I'm not sure, and I'm starting to see some people actually talk about how they don't want double tap in the game, and if anything it should be double tap 1.0. And honestly, if I had to choose between the two, honestly I think double tap 1.0 could genuinely work in this game. And I also say that because they've genuinely kind of teased double tap 1.0 within the other Mastercraft for the Marine SP, and you can just see the simple double tap 1.0 logo, so I could genuinely see double tap 1.0 returning, and I definitely think it would fit this game more than double tap 2. And the reason why I say that is because we have two ways of progressing, getting double your damage, and compared to the previous games, I definitely think Black Ops 6 is the most easiest one. Simple, you've got pack punch it 3 times, yada yada yada, and of course the salvage system. The salvage, you've only got one version of it, and the rarity system, it's much more quicker to get your rarities up in this game compared to that of, for instance, Cold War. So I genuinely think double tap 1.0 could work in this game, but those are the perks that I genuinely see could be coming back potentially. Now as for the perks that I would want to see come back out of the 5 I just mentioned, honestly it's got to be Vulture Aid. I really don't need to explain why. You know, the stuff that I mentioned about Vulture Aid when I was talking about it earlier in this video, that's my reason why. I genuinely think Vulture Aid would suit this game very, very well. Or potentially a new perk. What would that new perk be? I don't know, but I would love to see a genuinely new perk, because I think genuinely the last time we ever saw a new perk or new perks was genuinely in Black Ops 4, and ever since then the recent Zombies games being Cold War, Vanguard and Modern Warfare Zombies, all of them have just been the basic perks. You know, it's a fundamental core to Zombies, and then of course the DLC perks perks that we got later added in from BO4 to then be DLCs in Cold War to then be DLCs in Modern Warfare Zombies, and then of course Black Ops 6 potentially. But the biggest thing you got to keep in mind with Black Ops 6 is within the Wonderfest machine, as you can see, there's 2 grayed out boxes, and that indicates that we're only going to get 2 new perks for this game. Now this could easily change. I genuinely hope we do get new perks instead of just returning perks, because that would give Treyarch a lot more options and a lot more stuff to do with their perks. So honestly, Treyarch, please give us more new perks instead of just 2. I beg, please. But I did ask some of your guys' thoughts on Twitter on what you think will be the next perk coming into Black Ops 6 Zombies for Season 1 Reloaded, and this is what you guys said. We got one from I Got $2, and I Got $2 says, in Cold War, they started with a returning classic, Tombstone, so I think they'll do the same for Black Ops 6. DT or Vulture Aid returning would cause a huge craze in the community and skyrocket interest, which is exactly what you need from a DLC 1. If it's like a repeat like Mule Kick or Death Perception, interest will plummet. And I gotta agree, again, Vulture Aid would definitely make interest within Zombies skyrocket, so definitely 100% agreeing on that one. We got one from Skeptics, also known as Afterlife, and he says, I wanted to be something new, but I doubt it will be. It will probably be Death Perception or Mule Kick. Granted, they're needed in this game. Now, you know, Death Perception I can see being helpful, but I don't think we need it, especially that Vulture Aid has more promise, especially with the augment system compared to that of Death Perception. And as for Mule Kick would definitely be helpful in this game, so if I had to go off that tweet and choose between the 2, I would personally choose Mule Kick. And we actually got a reply from Skeptic's reply, and it's actually from No Name here, and he says, I would very hardly disagree with the Mule Kick take, but Death Perception or Vulture Aid with Death Perception augments would be really nice. Now, the reason why I mentioned this reply is because that's a very cool idea. You know, make the fundamental, you know, core aspects of Vulture Aid just be how Vulture Aid was in Black Ops 2. But then, of course, make the Death Perception, you know, upgrades from Cold War or potential new upgrades coming in with Black Ops 6 is augments for Vulture Aid. That's definitely a very cool idea, and that would basically be putting Death Perception and Vulture Aid into one. So honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with that. We got a reply from Tragic, and Tragic says, I hope and pray it's either Mule Kick, Double Tap, or Vulture Aid. Not saying that these are needed, but it would be nice to have. Again, they would be very helpful. I'm just would be more disappointed if we just got more returning perks. The only ones I would really allow is probably Double Tap and Vulture Aid. And Mule Kick, that's just stretching it a little bit. I've said it many times on my Twitch streams that Mule Kick, you know, if it comes back, I won't complain, but at least give us one new perk at best. I either want one returning perk and one new perk, or just 2 new perks in general with potential returning perk abilities as augments within these new perks. I don't want 2 returning perks that we've already seen as DLCs with Cold War Zombies. I don't know, it just would seem stupid to me. We got one from Michael, and Michael says, I would really love to see Double Tap 1.0 come back, or Winter's Wail, but as Widow's Wine because it's more recognizable. But deep down in me, one day I would love to have Stone Cold Stronghold back. Now that's very interesting take, to be honest, because honestly, Stone Cold Stronghold, as you know, we don't have Ring of Fire in this game, and we definitely are getting a new field upgraded within this game, so it could be a new one, or it could be a returning one, who knows. But honestly, if they wanted to make it so Ring of Fire just never came back at all, and maybe they want to make it into a perk form, maybe they could take some of Ring of Fire's abilities and put as augments within a Stone Cold Stronghold perk. I don't know, I was never one to use Stone Cold Stronghold unless I was camping within Black Ops 4 Zombies, but that's an interesting take. And you know, Widow's Wine is actually another good shout as well, because Widow's Wine, there was actually a new dedicated perk logo within Modern Warfare Zombies, and Widow's Wine never made an appearance within Modern Warfare Zombies, so who knows? Widow's Wine actually has a good chance to actually come back in this game now that I think about it. We got one from Robin Tarantino, and Holly says is Tombstone. Alright, Jack. Alright. Rest in pieces. But honestly, in my opinion, again, I mentioned all the list of perks that, you know, I could potentially see coming back, and the perks that I would personally want to see come back. And hey, again, talking about Widow's Wine here, I genuinely think that is a good show. I'd love to see Widow's Wine come back, and I definitely think a lot of other people would too, especially when it could help against the bunch of mangoes that we're going up against, the amalgams and shit like that, and potentially the abominations too. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think the new perk could be, or do you think it will be a returning perk. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all within the next video or live stream. And goodbye.